All right. The draft is over. The time for celebration is now. Everyone's got the same record. The urge to roster bait is strong. There's a lot of fun things to talk about. I'll get to them all here in due time. I want to start with a couple important, real quick items, though. First off, Ryan, I've got some bad news. The betting odds were strong that either you or I would make the first waiver move this year. Um, Unfortunately, it's neither of us. Let's take a quick look at this. Uh, a bevy of moves have been made, but I don't want to bury the lead as Cody has already spent $60 of his free agent bucks on Kareem Hunt. So that's amazing. Congratulations, Cody. I did not see 60 bucks of free agent dollars going out a month before the season started. So bold strategy. Um, Kudos to you, sir. Ryan, it looks like we've got some ground to make up in terms of burning and churning through free agency, but I'm up to the challenge. Maybe you are too. Who knows? Maybe Ryan really likes his team and he's not going to make any moves this year. He seems very confident in himself. So that's fun. Another thing, we brought this up before the draft. It was discussed at the draft. I'm going to bring it up one more time because I want to get some action on it. I want to expand this league to 12 teams. I think now is the time. Well, not now, but next season. Now is the time that we make an honest attempt at expansion. 12 teams. I think it becomes a partial reset where, we roll back to three players under contract and then the entire field is up for grabs in a new draft. Um, Big runner up really wants to keep more than three players. So, one thing that was kind of rattling around was, maybe we allow folks to buy additional contracts at a higher rate. So, maybe $10 a player, something like that. I don't know. I'm just throwing it out there. We could discuss the finer details later on, like whether we want to shrink the bench, tweak lineups, things like that. But before we get any further, I want a good thumbs up, thumbs down vote on expansion, like before week one starts. So I'll put a poll on the league page, and let's vote. If you don't vote, tough shit. I think simple majority will take it at that point. So I don't know if I could set polls to expire. I'll try and do that. Be on the lookout. I'm going to stick it up there. Calling my shot. Okay? Okay. There's that. Um, let's get back to the fun stuff. Everybody hates my team. And that's fine. I really like it better that way. I don't take it personal. I don't need the motivation. It's just still kind of fun to prove the experts wrong. I'm in a very similar boat as I was last year. If I remember correctly, ESPN had Cody finishing even higher above my team last year. I think they had Cody pegged at like 6. I was down at 8 or 9 again. So this is totally fine by me. On the left here, we've got Fantasy Pros. Now, the funny thing about this one is I even used the Fantasy Pros cheat sheet to kind of make a few picks in the draft so that they hate my team so much. Again, kind of like a badge of honor. Whatever. Like I said, I'm not losing any sleep. One thing I will say about their projections, if you looked at the cheat sheets that I provided at the draft, maybe you did, maybe you didn't. I passed a few of them out. ESPN really doesn't know how to gauge their own scoring. We haven't tweaked our scoring at all for the defense, and yet looking at like the top 10 linebackers, ESPN on average was shaving off at least 35, 40 points for any of the top 10 linebackers. And that's consistent across like the last 2 years of scoring. So either they're way out of their element or I don't know, maybe the world's going to fall apart with IDP. But that's me saying I don't take a lot of credence into what ESPN's projecting here. So neither should you. I mentioned it before. IDP really throws things for a loop here. Um, let's go down and take a closer look here. Fantasy Pros go so far as to break out what they feel my positional rankings are and our starting rankings in general are. Look, I'm only going to use this a tiny bit in my evaluation. What I really want to do is start a whole series of roster teardowns. So please, I welcome you to join in. I might even beg you to join in. We can easily hop on a screen share and do this remotely, like I've done with Carl and Ryan, and I think I had Walker on one a while back. Maybe you live like two houses down from me. We could definitely do that pretty easily. Hell, if you want to record one on your own, share the file with the awful.official@gmail.com account on like Google Drive, and I'll upload the thing to the YouTube channel if you just want to do it that way. So there are multiple ways that we can get everybody involved in these. I'll make it happen one way or another. Um, let's do it. Let's get everybody in the mix here. With that being said, yeah, let's proceed with my own roster teardown here. Um, they have my QB ranked third. I think typically in fantasy football, it feels like everyone puts Jalen Hurts right behind Mahomes and Josh Allen. That's fine. Honestly, I like Hurts to have even a little bit more upside. The Kansas City wide receivers are a huge question mark. The word is, again, that they want Josh Allen to run less. So the Philly offense, largely intact. Um, Jalen Hurts continues to progress in his passing game. If anything, the Eagles' running game has taken a step back with Penny and Swift, who are both huge injury risks, right? Destined to miss some time. So I really think it's not that crazy to envision a world where Hertz becomes the fantasy QB number one. So there's that for you. There's a hot take. I give my QB grade a hot A plus. That's solid. Now running back. They hate the running back starters I have. I don't blame them. Um, I feel like Javonte Williams was a steal in the draft for me. He's still making it back from a bad knee injury, though, so hard to say that he'll have an entirely efficient year running the ball. I've got Isaiah Pacheco, same deal. He's coming back from a couple of injuries. Those don't really concern me as much as Javante's knee, though. Um, I mentioned before it's like a shoulder and a hand. He'll be able to run, cut, do all that stuff just fine. Plus, he's on the Chiefs' offense, so that's a good thing. Um, I've got Antonio Gibson, receiving back with maybe potential to take some carries from Brian Robinson. And then I rolled the dice on a bunch of rookies. So look, I'm behind the eight ball. Yeah, there's a chance that Tank Bigsby could become like a goal line vulture. There's a chance that Devon Achane could become, I don't know, like a young Alvin Kamara. There's a chance that Roshan Johnson could run the Bears backfield by the midway point of the year. Those are all long shots. Yeah, D plus at running back if I'm lucky. So they have me ranked dead last. I don't care. That's fine. Wide receiver. Um, I think I'm in a really good spot at wide receiver. They have me ranked sixth. When I look at the rest of the league, I really feel like as a whole, my group is maybe number two. Big runner up. He's probably in front of me with his wide receiver group. Carl has a solid group. I think there's enough question marks that I could squeak ahead of him there. So yeah, I feel like the wide receiver position ranked at sixth is a gross underestimate of what I have. I think I'm at an A minus on my wide receiver group. Tight end, yeah, that's fine. Put me at 10th. I don't care. I'm not a huge tight end advocate. Like I said before, if you don't have Kelsey, Andrews, Hawkinson, probably Darren Waller, then what the hell's the point of wasting picks there anyway? So I went with two rookies. That's probably not advisable, but I can always go back and find a safer play shit by week one. I'm gambling. Like I said, nobody outside of the top four tight ends is really going to matter anyway. So we're all at a C minus unless you have one of those guys. I don't care. This is where it starts to get sticky. We get into IDP world, and there's a lot of things that could go wrong. DL, they have me at 10th again. So here's a quick rant on DL. All right. Outside of Crosby, Micah Parsons, Miles Garrett, probably Nick Bosa, maybe TJ Watt. That's what, five guys? It's similar to tight end now. There are five elite fantasy options on the D line. Beyond that, there's a ton of variance. Sacks are not a predictable stat. Sacks are basically luck. Um, you just want a few guys that show solid ability to cause pressures, and then you hope they luck into the sacks from there. So, there's not a huge stack of talent. I think, again, big runner up probably has one of the better stacks. I really like Alex Highsmith on my team. I like Kayvon Thibodeau to have a big progression from last year. I'm happy with that. Nick or Bradley Chubb, I've got there as well. He's in the same defensive system that he was when he had 12 and a half sacks now. So, I'm rolling the dice. We'll see what happens. But uh, again, hard to say that anybody has a definitive advantage with our DL scoring. Um, Once you fall outside of the top 10 in that position, there's a huge fall. So we'll see what happens. Um, I think at this one, I'm tied with like four other teams with a B minus. So there you go. Don't think you're hot shit if Fantasy Pro says you're better than me, because you're probably not. Linebacker, they've got me at seventh. I think I'm a couple spots higher. I'm solidly in the middle. Um, I took shots at high upside guys. I've got Ernest Jones. He's like the only linebacker of note in LA. He really just hasn't had a true breakout season yet, but last year he had to pass it off to Bobby Wagner. So I like his odds now that he's kind of the lone guy there. Um, Philly made a bunch of moves that would seem to indicate Nakobe Dean is the linebacker one there. Going to be a great offense with the ability to really put the clamps down on some teams from the defense. So I like it. Troy Anderson, kind of the same deal as Nakobe Dean, minus the whole offense being great part. But anyway, um, so yeah, there's some stacked position groups. There's some guys that have much better linebacking groups than me. I wouldn't call myself seventh though. I give this one a solid C plus at linebacker. DBs. I'm positive my group is better than I don't know where do they even put me at? They don't even have a listing for DB on here, do they? Fucking assholes. Um, Look, Ryan kept seven DBs under contract. Granted, a couple of them are number one, number two, and number four in projections. I'm unimpressed. Okay, I really think my guys are solid. I'm giving myself a legit B plus. So, see, that was pretty painless. It was kind of fun. We could do that for your team. We could do that for somebody else's team. Let's just rip. Let's have a good time. Um, yeah, I think that's really all I've got for now. So keep an eye out for a poll regarding expansion. I'm gonna do it. We're gonna make it official, and let's make this happen again. Let's do another video, okay? All right. We'll catch you guys later.